What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and if this is your first time here, my name is Timo, and this is the Timo Show. And then today we're going to do a paint job recap on this $2,000 interior painting job that we just recently did for a recurring customer. And I also wanted to talk a little bit about why I chose to do this job the good old-fashioned brush and roller method versus spraying. And yeah, we'll get into that. So I want to talk a little bit about this customer, and he's a recurring customer that I got through a referral, and those are always my favorite kind of customers. And funny story about when he first hired me, and he gives me the line that I hear often is like, hey man, hook me up on this one because I got lots of work, you know. And so I hear that a lot, you know, hook me up on this one, I got lots of work. And if I'm being honest, a lot of times it doesn't pan out like that. So in the past I'd fall for that, but nowadays I typically don't. However, when I met this guy, got really good vibes, especially from the person who did refer him, has also been a great loyal customer to me for years. So I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and he said, hey, hook me up on this one, because he had some electrical work and some minor repairs going on downstairs. And typically on smaller jobs like that, I need to charge a little bit more just because it's a smaller job, right? So anyways, I hooked him up. I gave him a super fair price for fair work. And he's called me back at least a dozen times. Now, you might have seen in some of my older videos, we redid his stair railing. I hung up a bunch of lights for him. I'm going to be redoing his floors here in the next couple of weeks. So again, great customer, and he's told me that I provide a great service, and he really trusts me, and he loves having me on. And he always pays on time. There's never an issue with payment. I love it. He always tips too. And speaking of payment, I get questioned a lot in the comment section asking me how do I go about getting paid and invoicing and stuff. And honestly, for me, what I use nowadays is Jobber. It's the best place for me. I invoice, I do my quotes there, I do my scheduling, I keep track of my employees' hours and mileage and stuff. So really, Jobber's an all-in-one like platform. And I used to kind of come home, I gotta mess around with QuickBooks, I gotta jump into Google spreadsheets, and it's just a whole nightmare. And I'm back and forth between my phone and the desk. And nowadays, Jobber's super cool, man. It's all right there on the phone. You can get paid through Jobber, send an invoice, you get paid faster. So if you guys are interested, check that out. It's been a super great tool for me. I'll leave it linked in the description and the pinned comment below. Okay, now I'm gonna give you the 3 reasons that I considered when deciding whether or not to spray this project versus doing it by hand like I'm doing here. Number 1 reason is I was rolling by myself, and when I'm rolling solo, it takes a little bit too long to really get an area completely ready to spray, right? Especially when they're living in the space. So that was the number 1 factor. I was rolling solo by myself, and I really didn't have a whole lot of time to get her done. Where I come from, they usually will cost you an 18-pack if you drop your brush, especially a brush with paint on it. But I caught it, didn't hit the ground, so no beers for you. So the second factor why I chose to do it by hand instead of spraying was there was 4 different paint products. So in the bathroom, I used a semi-gloss for the ceiling and the walls, and the ceiling was white and the walls were this gray color. And in this area, I used the top tier flat paint on the ceiling and an eggshell on the wall. So altogether, that's 4 different paints. And if I was spraying everything in one color, I probably would have opted in to just go ahead and take the day or so to make sure everything was wrapped super tight in order to bust out the Airless spray or knock it out. But that wasn't the case, right? I had a whole bunch of different paints, so I figured really honestly I could get in there first day, run the ceilings, that'll take me a day. Second day we come back, second coat the ceilings. Third day we can run the walls. Fourth day we put it all back together, right? So that was the plan, and those are the top 2 reasons. Now the third reason might not fly for you, and I'm interested how you guys feel about this, but for me, when I first started out painting, I didn't have a sprayer, right? So I showed up with my buckets and my brushes and my rollers, and I just started knocking it out. And here I'm only using a 9-inch roller, so this is like your basic setup to get something done. And I was able to fill out the week. I made $2,000 this week, and it was all labor. I didn't buy the paint. He actually supplied the paint for this project, which was great. So number 3 reason, I miss it. I gotta be honest with you, with all the hustle and the bustle and dealing with the equipment and the ladders and the drops and the back and forth and the gas, sometimes just showing up to a job with minimal tools, getting on the ladder, putting the headphones in with the podcast, and just cruising along and getting it done like the old school, like the back of the olden days, That's the way to do it. So we had a priority project where we had the whole crew on also, and I needed to keep them there. So I just pulled back to do this. This was a quick four-day job, and he was out of town for 4 days, so we went in and knocked it out. And actually it was really pleasant. So hey, if you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.